Okay. Okay. Fuck yeah. Guys, we're not gonna lie. We had a whole intro set up. We were coming into the Topuria music. But that was about what? Half an hour ago?
Yeah. Let's just say we were supposed to start at about 6:30. We got down here at about 7 o'clock. It's 7:45 currently. We had a little bit of technical difficulties.
You can tell morale is low. We figured out a way though. We're running out. Hey, notice the higher quality.
We might be able to see faces more clearly, not places.
Yeah.
More clearly.
Yeah, higher quality. If that's what comes out of this, higher quality and high quality audio.
If this looks good, we could do this for the rest of the time.
Yeah, we can. It was a bitch to figure out, but good things take time. Good things take time.
Patience is a virtue.
Patience is a virtue. And for those who don't know, we're the Split Decision Podcast, and it's episode 49. And the reason that if this would have been a UFC Fight Night Vegas 99 or 100,
I would have just been home.
Yeah, I would have just been like, PJ, we'll
go home.
Yeah, let's just tweet out what we think.
But in my opinion, this has a chance to be outside of UFC 300 the best event. Oh well, 299 I guess as well. I mean, there's a lot, but this is definitely a card that we cannot miss.
No, absolutely. And honestly, you're saying besides 300, obviously we have to wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
But I think that absolutely has the potential to overtake it as the event of the year. Because I would argue there's more at stake, and there's higher quality fights, especially at the top of this card. Maybe it doesn't have the power all the way through that 300 had.
Yeah.
That's always going to be hard to live up to. But if you're asking me if I want to watch Pereira versus Jamal headline or
Topuria versus Holloway, I would have to agree.
Yes, exactly. Even the co-main event, I would shoot. I mean, as great as the BMF title fight was at 300.
Yeah, but the quality wasn't there, and it was pretty one-sided.
And what was the actual implication? I mean, they won. Yes, the BMF title was on the line, but
yeah,
this is for number one contendership for the real title. A fight that we were promised many months ago. We've been teased for this fight.
I mean, I was gonna say we've been talking about this since we started the episode of this being a possibility, and now here we are. What, 3 some years later, to say the least, and we're finally getting this fight, along with, in my opinion, and I think the general public would probably agree, probably the biggest featherweight title fight in history since McGregor versus Aldo. I would probably say. Yeah,
I would absolutely agree with that. And you could even argue that the quality of fighter might even be better.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, Aldo was number one pound for pound. McGregor was steamrolling through and the biggest superstar. I mean, regardless.
I guess really it's just because I wasn't there. So
I really wish we were as big of fans as we were back then.
What was I doing? Probably picking my nose, getting a hose, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was probably saying hi to you at the lunch table. You were probably just telling me to fuck off or something.
Yeah, kill yourself. You're not allowed to say that to people anymore. Okay, I didn't mean it. Do not actually kill yourself.
That was said by Joe Rogan.
I'm looking at this now. I'm looking at canceled fights on this card. I forgot that we were supposed to get Cyril Gane.
Could have been an even better card.
That would have been, and even something like Said Nurmagomedov versus Daniel Santos.
Nzechukwu versus Justin Tafa would have been a solid undercard fight.
But Nzechukwu is still fighting on this card.
He's fighting the GOAT.
And oh my God, no, this card is insane. This card is insane.
Look at the first fight of the night.
Yeah,
Renat Fakhretdinov. Yep.
Fakhretdinov versus Carlos Leal. I mean, honestly, I've seen this Renat guy fight before.
Yeah, he just fought at the last event that Shara Bullet fought at. I forgot.
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, Whittaker versus Aliskerov. He got the split decision over Nicholas Dobby. I remember I actually watched that from my girlfriend, my wonderful girlfriend Meredith Dayton's lake house in her upstairs. I was watching the fight, and then I ended up streaming the Whittaker versus Aliskerov fight on the boat in the middle of the water.
That's tough.
And I was literally telling everybody, please let this be a first round knockout because I don't want to be sitting here while I'm enjoying this beautiful day.
Dude, I've been in situations like that. I remember when I was at when Ryan Garcia was fighting Tank Davis, and I was in the middle of Kilroy's, like the door I was on my phone, sitting at the bar, and I was literally like, people probably think I'm...
It's crazy that you say that because I literally remember walking into... I think I was walking into Kilroy Sports.
Yeah.
I don't know who I was with. I'm pretty sure I was walking into Kilroy Sports with it on my phone, and literally like whoever I was with, along with a bunch of random dudes hovering over my shoulder in the obvious 30-minute line at Sports, and literally everybody hovering over me on my phone that's at 11%.
No, I was sitting there and someone saw me watching it and they asked me, they were like, "Who should I live bet on?" And I said, obviously Ryan Garcia. And then the guy's like following me around, like, because I have the fight, and he's a cool guy. We're walking around and whatever, watching it. And then I see the knockout, and I just put my phone away and I just disappeared because he put like $50 on it. I'm like, I didn't tell you to do all that, buddy.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Good times.
Maybe he's watching this episode.
Hey, buddy. Anyways, Renat. I'm not gonna act like I know a lot about these guys. I have seen this Renat guy before.
No, but every fight like has somebody. Yeah. Like at least one of the guys is high quality. Like Bruno Silva, obviously many people probably know him from fighting Pereira.
Tough bastard.
I was gonna say a guy that actually made Pereira look human, to be honest, which is crazy. And then in the next fight, he's a minus 700 favorite, and I've actually seen quite a bit on him on social media. A lot of people are saying Farid Bashrat out of Afghanistan is supposed to be a dog. He's 4-0 in the UFC. Well, I guess 3-0 in the UFC. I don't know if you count the Dana White Contender Series as the UFC. I guess so. 4-0 in the UFC. He's a dog. You just mentioned we still haven't got it right. We've said it 100 times. And Nzechukwu versus Chris Barnett.
And Nzechukwu versus that fat bastard Chris Barnett.
Versus the Spanish guy.
But I say...
España.
Who's this from España?
Chris Barnett.
Since really? No, what?
I'm serious.
Really?
Yeah. Look at it. He's got the Spain flag.
Who would have thought it? Yeah, I've never seen a Spanish guy who looked like that. This is the battle of the bodies. I mean, we got the skinny.
Dude, this is crazy. Like looking at it from this way, looking at it at a side by side.
Yeah, no. Like I remember when someone tweeted out that this is the next this matchup was getting made, and I thought they were joking because I saw the frame of Nzechukwu, and I was like, oh, that's pretty. It's like a 170.
The crazy thing is he's not even a heavyweight either. Yeah. He's a 205er, and he's fighting a guy who can barely make heavyweight.
I mean, we're not going to give too many predictions on the prelims, but you just saying that.
I mean, we can.
I mean, just for this one, I feel comfortable saying that. I mean, you say he's a heavyweight. Chris Barnett's a big boy, and he's not a grappler, so he's not. I don't see him getting a hold of.
No, Barnett's there to stand and bang.
And unfortunately, I mean, if he's a 205er moving up, you can only imagine he's going to be lighter on his feet. Going to be poke and pry at Beast Boy.
I would have to agree.
And I mean, I could see him getting.
Sadly, I mean, I'm rooting hard for Barnett. I probably won't watch you because I'll probably be at a tailgate, but I'm hoping to maybe pull up on my phone like a loser and just see you do that front flip.
God knows
celebration.
God knows I'm gonna be sat in front of my TV at 12:55, and then at 12:59. Ma's gonna go ask me to mow the lawn or some shit. Hopefully we don't get there. Yeah,
that's another thing. Roman and I just discovered ourselves. It's in Abu Dhabi, so the main card will be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah,
but that's not necessarily a bad thing because it gives you guys something to do afterwards. You know?
Yeah. Especially if you win big on the fight, money wise, maybe go out. Yeah. Use that money for a beverage, but.
But the next fight on the card is something that could probably headline a UFC Vegas. It's Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira, I've seen this guy fight before. I've seen Abus fight as well. Abus is kind of hit or miss. He had a really nice start to his UFC career, but then he ran into Sean Strickland, exposed him a little bit. Unfortunately, ran into Cal Barallo right after that.
Yeah, that ain't gonna
And he definitely fought a lot more conservatively in that fight. But he was able to score a victory his last time out against Warlley Alves, who's not a bad fighter himself. And as for Bruno Ferreira...
Yeah, he's on a 2-fight first-round knockout streak.
And he got some dangerous striking, some really dangerous striking. I am curious to see how this one goes. It's almost even money. On Tapology, at least, they have a boost at a minus 150, Ferreira at a plus 125. Pretty much even money. I think it's going to be fireworks. Abus has made some adjustments since she fought Strickland, rightfully so, because he was high octane out the beginning. And I think Bruno's a little bit of the same way. So maybe he'll bring that back out of Abus. But regardless, should be a good fight. I don't feel comfortable giving a prediction on this one.
No,
so
I can predict that. I think it's going to be a 1. I think it's going to end in the first round because Bruno Ferreira has fought 13 career fights in his mixed martial arts career, and only 2 of them have made it to the second round. And yeah, in the UFC, his fight, he has had 4 wins in the UFC, all by first round knockout, and 1 loss in the UFC by first round knockout. He just knocked out Dustin Stoltzfus, who's actually
he's a good
he's solid.
Yeah.
Phil Hawes is auto knockout pretty much.
Yeah. You touch him.
Sorry, buddy. You're a good guy, I'm sure, but yeah, you're pretty chinny. But yeah, I mean, I don't just based on Bruno Ferreira's fight style, and I think this one goes maximum 2, but I think this one will be done in 1. Yeah.
Moving on, another guy who's a bit of a cult hero in the MMA community. I don't know how to pronounce his name yet.
I got it. Mitkabek Oralbi.
Whoa!
I watched his debut. I think I have a video about him on our TikTok. If you guys haven't seen that, he is a dog. He's a problem. He is reigning out of Kyrgyzstan, same home country as Valentina Shevchenko, the Bullet. He's a dog. I watched his debut against Uros Medic, and Uros Medic he's a solid fighter. And then he just beat Elvis Brenner. He's pretty well rounded. He's fighting Mateus Rebecki.
Oh, Mateus Rebecki. He's been around the block for a while.
Yeah, he just got knocked out by Diego Ferreira.
Wow. So I mean, Mitkabek. Mitkabek. There is a K in there.
Mitkabek.
Mitkabek.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, don't act like it's fucking simple.
No, Mitkabek. I'm sorry, you're right. See, now you're screwing me up. Miktebek.
Yeah.
He's Miktebek Oralbi.
Yeah. You're looking at the king.
All right. They don't care about this fight. Anyways, next one. Next one, actually a big name. 2 big names, I would say, actually. Jeff Neal versus RDA.
Oh, my God.
That is Rafael Dos Anjos.
Completely forgot about this one.
Another banger of a fight. Two unks going at it pretty much.
I love it, though. And you know
I
what?
do, too. It's a great fight.
Fucking props to RDA, man. Props to RDA. Every time he fights, we bring up his resume, but that's because he deserves to have his resume.
It deserves to be mentioned every time.
I mean, just...
Of course, mate. Of course. Easy money.
Straight killers. Cerrone, Felder, Chiesa, Edwards, Kevin Lee, Kamaru Usman, Kobe Covington, Robbie Lawler, Neil Magny, Ferguson, Alvarez. The list goes on and on and on. And again, another name just to add to it, somebody with the pedigree of Jeff Hands of Steel Neal, who's unfortunately coming off on to back-to-back losses, but I mean, against the upper echelon of the welterweight
no shame
division.
in either one.
Yeah, the upper echelon, PJ. We're talking about Ian Gary, which was a stinker of a fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, Ian Gary seems to be putting on stinkers.
Yeah,
lately.
for all that was made about in the build-up to that fight, literally was such a boring fight. And Shavkat, I mean, that was a banger of a fight.
That was Shavkat's best test of his career.
And much like you said, Bruno Silva made Pereira look human to a certain extent.
Everybody's got to have a Jeff Neal and Bruno Silva. Every champion's got that Jeff Neal and Bruno Silva.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 vets. I'm excited to see this one. And it's your classic. Jeff Neal's the boxer. RDA, he's a good striker, but he definitely has a grappling advantage. I think it's going to be hard for RDA to take Jeff down. He's not an easy guy to take down. Even Shavkat didn't have an easy time taking him down.
No.
And I am worried. I mean, Hands of Steel, that's real.
It is.
It is real. So, RDA, tough bastard. I would hate to see him be on a 3-fight losing skid.
Someone's got to go on a 3-fight losing skid, though.
Yes, it would. Fuck. I'm going to lean Jeff Neal.
I'm also leaning Jeff Neal. I think he's...
Yeah.
I still think he's worth being a ranked...
Yeah.
I think he's still like a top 15 guy in the world. RDA, we're talking about this fight 5 years ago. I'm easily taking RDA, but unfortunately we're not.
It's 2024.
It's 2024, almost 2025. It's creeping up on us.
He should have got that McGregor fight at some point, but we're years from that at this point.
No, we're good.
Ibo Aslan versus Rafael Kirkera.
Yes, sir. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it.
Unfamiliar, but this Turkish guy, Aslan's 13-1. And this Brazilian is 11-0.
Yeah, he's making his debut.
UFC
debut. Aslan is only in his 3rd career fight. I'm assuming... I've heard a bit on Twitter about this Sirkera. I've heard a little bit about this guy. He seems I think his nickname is the Lion, if I saw that correctly. He's supposed to be pretty good, so there's a reason this is the featured bout of the prelims. I guess we'll have to find out. I can't say I have a whole lot of analysis on the fight, so I guess we're just gonna hopefully be able to talk about this next week as a great bout.
The last Ottoman is Ibo Aslan.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is the lion. Okay, I was gonna say.
Well, yeah, Whittaker is the lion.
Yeah.
Ibo is the last Ottoman, which is
Interesting.
tough.
Has he fought somebody that I know of? Let's see.
Yeah.
No, he has not. Okay. Well, yeah. Two. Are these guys younger? Yeah, 28 and 33. Well, Sakura is 33, making his debut. Little late, but he's also a. This is I think this is light heavyweight, correct? Yeah. I mean, those the bigger guys can always, they can push towards early 40s, late 30s. But yeah, now time for us to, actually give predictions. The main card.
We have a 6-fight main card, do we not? Or is it 6? Or is it 4? Yeah, I did 1, 2, 3.
No, just 5.
Oh,
just 5.
Can't count.
I wish it was 6. Be later in the day.
I mean, we got robbed of a few good ones. I mean, but this is still high quality.
I was gonna say the fact that Gan and Volkov was supposed to mix in somewhere here is actually nuts.
And again, even Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Cairo Santos would have been a great fight too.
Yeah, 100%.
But instead, different side of Dagestan, we got Shara Bullet Magomedov taking on Arman Petrosyan. Shara at this point is going to be in his 4th UFC fight. Seems like he was. I mean, it was just over a year ago that he joined. So nice to see him staying active, especially considering he can't even fight in the United States. And why can he not fight in the United States, PJ? Do you know why?
There's quite a bit. I've heard. I can't say I remember the exact reasoning. I would know it if you said it, but.
It's because he got one eye. They won't sanction him to fight in the United States.
Is that what it is? Okay.
As far as I've heard,
I think there's another. I thought there was a problem with. I thought he got in trouble in a different country, and that's all. Maybe that's another reason why, but that is probably the main.
Yeah,
that is the main.
I've heard Dana talk about it, saying that they can't. None of the athletic commissions will sanction him, so they have to keep him in the only crazy ass place that they'll let him fight. So he's been staying over in the Middle East. Luckily, the UFC has a boatload of events over there nowadays. So he's been staying active. Yeah,
I just saw an Instagram post of him on an interview saying that he wants to break the record for activity in the UFC. He wants a 4-week turnaround after this fight at UFC Macau, and then he wants to go back in February in wherever the card in February is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Is that supposed? I don't know which one that is, but. Yeah, he's been pretty active. Sydney, Australia, that's correct. Yeah, he's trying to stay active, and he's fighting a guy who's fairly solid. I would say a UFC Apex Warrior, Arman Petrosyan. Actually, in all seriousness, no slouch at all. I think there's a path to victory for Petrosyan.
Yeah, one of my friends, Omar, texted me about this fight earlier, and he thinks Shara's going to get fraud checked. And upon second, at first, you think, nah, probably not. But I mean,
I'm gonna give my prediction right now. I already made my decision before I got here. I actually think he's gonna get fraud checked as well. I'm serious.
See? Yeah, and I'm
since you brought it up, I have to say it before you go in. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I agree. I watched a bit of film actually on Petrosyan because I've seen him fight multiple times before. Mm-hmm. I've seen the Bullet fight. He's great. He's impressive. I think there's a time to get fraud checked. Mm-hmm. I think it might be now. Petrosyan, He's taller. He's not longer, actually, but he's a big guy. There's no threat of the takedown. The only fights I believe that Petrosyan has ever lost in his career have been fights where just guys, he simply can't keep the fight on the feet. So I'm not saying this with 100% confidence, but I'm actually going to go out and going to go Petrosyan. I don't know if he's going to get him out of there. I'm not sure they're even going to give him a decision in Abu Dhabi, but I'm going to have to go with Petrosyan. Decision. I think I don't know.
I could. You guys are slowly starting to convince me of this. You guys really are.
I already convinced myself before I got here.
I do think. I mean, we have a lot of. I was going to say we have a lot of betting favorites on this card, but I mean.
Yeah, we should have some betting favorites.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't gonna. That's why I fucking refrained from saying it. Okay. Judger. Anyways, can I be swung to go against the 14-0 Shara Bullet? I kind of can be because I've seen him fight a few times now, and he's beaten the guys he's supposed to beat, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, this and it's very kick heavy. It's very like glamour striking, I guess. Like
It's like it's a fan favorite type of style, to say the least.
But it's only a matter of time, right, before he either finds somebody who has the grappling advantage or can just keep things simple enough to give Shara problems. And I do think he gets a little tired because he's always bouncing on his feet, throws a lot of leg kicks.
Yeah, he's got some weird movement.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of adds to his game, but also at the same time, he's always bouncing, rotating, yada yada. Do I have the balls to say he's going to get knocked off? No, I don't. I think Shara will get a decision victory over Armen Petrosyan. Although I do think towards the end of the fight, as he starts to gas, it's going to get a little testy. Maybe I could see a split decision in this
I could see a split. I was going to say, I could see like 29-28 in favor of either fighter, to be honest. I'm going to change mine. I do think it's going to be a split decision, actually.
Yeah, shout out Split Decision Podcast. Next fight. Banger. I mean, the whole main card's a banger, but this next one's really good. We got Dan 50K Ige taking on Lerone, the Miracle Murphy. And PJ, why don't you just give the people a reminder of the type of tough guy that Dan Ige is?
Yeah, many of you should know, and if you don't, I'll inform you right now. Dan Ige is the only fighter in UFC history to take a short notice fight, I believe, on 3 hours notice.
It was like 3, 4.
Whatever it was. I don't even know how many hours it was.
Way too short.
Way too short. Less than 24 hours. I think has that been done before? I feel like maybe.
Maybe.
But I don't know. Regardless, he took a fight the same day against Diego Lopez when Brian Ortega was in the back room getting laced up and decided he can't fight. And they called up 50K Ige. And he fought Diego Lopez and brought the fight to Diego Lopez. He actually, towards the end of the third round, I think many people were a bit concerned with Diego Lopez's gas tank because Ige probably won the last half of the third round.
Yeah, I mean,
against Lopez.
I mean, I do think it's a little bit of a matter. That fight, Diego Lopez is in a tough spot.
It's a weird thing for both guys.
Yeah. It's a weird instance.
If anything, it's more of an advantage for the guy that took the fight on short notice, just because they have nothing. He has absolutely nothing to lose.
No
in
weight.
fight.
Yeah, no weight to cut. Made all the money, and you could just afford to get.
If he wins, it's literally one of the greatest upsets of all time.
Yeah. But just looking at his record, I mean, he had a KO versus Andre Fili. I remember watching that live. That was brutal out of nowhere as well. And took a loss to Bryce Mitchell a year ago, and then before that had back-to-back wins versus Nate Landwehr and Damon Jackson. So the quality, there's definitely some quality thrown in there for sure. But as for Lerone Murphy, I mean, he's surging. He's 14-0-1. He's a minus 200 favorite. Got wins over Barboza, Justin Culibao, Gabriel Santos. I'm not going to act like I know who these last three guys are, but I know who Edson Barboza is, and he's a hell of a fighter.
He's a great fighter.
And Lerone the Miracle Murphy, I mean, they're the same age. I was going to say that Leron's the young prospect, but Leron's actually a month older than Dan.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because he definitely still is a hot prospect in the MMA world. He's just obviously entered a bit later than you would think.
Doesn't fight often at all when you look at it. Only one fight in the last year. 3 fights in the last 2 years.
Yeah, didn't fight in 2022 at all. Fought twice in 21 and 23.
That raises a few eyebrows for me. I mean, we are in the tough guy business after all, and it doesn't get much tougher than Dan 50K.
We are.
18-8 also concerns me. As I see it, I'm going to lean towards Lerone Murphy. Leroy?
Lerone, I believe is it. I can't. I've been watching the embeddeds, and I'm pretty sure I remember somebody saying Lerone, but I could be wrong. But yeah.
Either way, I'm going to lean towards Jerome. I'm going to go Murphy by... it'll go the distance because 50K is a damn tough bastard. And actually, the last 3 Murphy fights have gone to decision, and obviously 50K went to decision last time, so I feel pretty confident in saying Murphy, UD. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Lerone Murphy, UD, I think like 29-28. I think Ige maybe clips him once or twice here and there. But I think Lerone will mix it up. He's a very well-rounded fighter. I just think he's got a bit too much. And I want to say he's the younger and hungrier guy, but he's not, even though it seems like he is. He's a dog. He's definitely top 15 material. Not that Ige isn't, but Yeah, I just think Lerone has a bit more. He's a bit more well-rounded than Ige. However, I'd say arguably the most 50, besides the main event, the most 50-50 fight on the card. It's up there at least. We'll see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with you on that.
PJ, I'm thinking about it now. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what just happened in the last 30 seconds here, but I'm like Leron Murphy minus 200. He's kind of a shoo-in for some people. I'm actually gonna flip my pick here, which I do not do often or lightly, or don't know why I'm doing it at all.
Change in the judging scorecards.
For some reason, I think it's gonna be 29-28 Ige. I don't know. I think
50K.
I think somehow, some way, despite coming out the loss, he has momentum coming into this. And I think with the people behind him, he's going to want to deliver a performance. He's going to want to keep his name in the headlines.
Yeah.
So for some reason, somehow, some way, I think 50K gets done.
That's fair.
Now, you guys might be saying, why are you guys predicting so many decisions? You guys are playing it safe. I feel confident in telling you this next fight will not go to decision. We're talking about Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. PJ, can you tell me the implications of this fight? What does the winner seemingly get out of this fight?
I can't even say for sure we know yet because I actually just saw Dana. I saw Magomed say that the UFC told him if it's a good fight and he wins, they will give him Pereira next. Now I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this guy at all. This Magomed dude, I don't like him. He doesn't excite me. I don't think he excites a lot of people.
Yeah.
But if he wins this fight and doesn't get a title fight next, I'm starting to think, and I don't want to say it, but I'm starting to think they're just protecting Alex Pereira way too hard because this guy...
That would be unfortunate.
No, it would be bad. I'm not going to lie. I'm ready to see Pereira versus Ankalaev now. I don't really think this fight was even necessary, but it's, it's whatever. It's happening. I've lost my train of thought because I looked... I don't know why. I looked at your phone. I saw your screensaver. I don't even know what it is.
Chicago.
Yeah, I just locked in on that picture for a second and my mind went completely blank. But back to what I was saying. Magomed, yeah. The winner should be getting a title shot. Rakic, now I don't know if Rakic gets a title fight.
Yeah.
But if Ankalaev wins his fight, he will be and should be the next contender for, I'm assuming Alex Pereira will still be champ at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I can give my prediction on this one. I'm fairly confident in mine. I think they're both well-rounded fighters, to say the least. Rakic, obviously, his last fight was against Jiri Prochazka. He won the first round against Jiri, and then just apparently he couldn't feel his legs to start the second round, and he ended up getting knocked out. Magomed, he's just a very well-rounded guy. He doesn't submit people, really, at all, actually. He has 0 subs in his career. Only lost to sub once. He would be undefeated if he didn't tap with 1 second left on the clock against Paul Craig. But, I think he's just very well-rounded. He might mix in a bit of wrestling. Might keep it on the feet just to make a statement, obviously, because he wants this to be an exciting fight. I'm going to go Magomed late knockout, I think. 3rd round TKO. Magomed, he's going to clip Rakic, maybe finish with a little ground and pound. Herb Dean, whoever's reffing, might let him get 9 extra blows. And, Magomed should be next for Pothon.
See, that's what you think.
That is what I think. I don't know.
But that's not what you know.
I don't know anything.
And I don't know. I've thought about this, extensively. And for some reason, people seem to forget the quality of fighter that Rakic is. He was beaten up on Jan Blachowicz before he unfortunately tore his ACL in that fight 2 years. He was beaten up on Jiri Prochazka until apparently he couldn't feel his legs anymore.
Yeah.
And he fucking packs a hell of a strike. He's a great striker. Probably on par with Ankalaev, in my opinion. Is the grappling on par? Possibly not. But as you're saying, as you said earlier, Dana says that Magomed needs to have an exciting fight, an exciting win. So do I think that kind of plays into the way that Ankalaev approaches it? Possibly.
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't go with as much of a heavy wrestling approach. Not that he does in the first place anyway, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But, all that being said, I am actually going to go Alexander Rakic in this fight. Which is crazy. Which is going to suck is that I preference this whole fight by saying that it's going to go to, that someone's going to get knocked out or finished.
But Magomed ain't getting finished,
But
is
Magomed's
he? In your mind.
But it's also not, but Rakic also is not going to win a decision. If it goes to decision, Rakic
Probably,
Rakic
yeah. He's got to clip him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rakic high kick second round.
I would love to see, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I would love to see it.
High kick second round somehow, some way. I do for some reason. I it's easy to feel confident until the day comes around, but I feel confident in saying.
Yeah, we both felt confident Johnny Walker was going to knock out Magomed Ankalaev. No, I'm not trying to shit on you. That was me too.
No,
we both,
we
for
did.
some reason, thought that was going to happen, and we looked beyond stupid.
I saw him throw a flying knee. I thought it was.
So did I. Dude, we're idiots for that one. But yeah, no. Rakic is a way better fighter than Johnny Walker.
He is. And
Johnny Walker's mean.
And he's proven against top guys that he can do it. It's just those fights ended in weird ways.
Yeah, they have.
But I mean that's gonna be a great one. That's gonna be.
So you said second round.
I'm gonna go Rakic. He's gonna be the second guy to finish Magomed Ankalaev, the first one to knock him out. I hope so. And you're gonna go Ankh.
Third round TKO. I think he just clips him with a nice low right hook or something.
No, PJ.
Enough about this.
Oh.
I know you've been waiting for this for a long time. I've been waiting as well. This fight, like we said, probably should have, could have, would have happened a long time ago, but it hasn't happened yet, so we shouldn't get too excited. But Khamzat is scheduled to fight this Saturday in the co-main event, 5 rounds.
Dude, I might start crying, dude. I haven't watched Khamzat fight in over a year, and
it was actually 2 days ago.
Oh my god!
About 7 days ago. I mean,
dude, only thing that tops that might be in the same realm as what I feel when Khamzat walks out is Oliveira and McGregor. That's the only thing that comes close. And even then, I might be I'm just on the Khamzat train. I've been on the train for a while, but of course, as soon as I hopped on the train, he decided that the train was going to go off track, and he wasn't going to do the thing that got him up in the first place, which was fighting every other day. So, very happy that the week is upon us. But Khamzat has screwed us in less time before.
Yes.
So, never say never. We're going to be holding our breath. But let's just envision that it all goes to plan, and that this Saturday night we have Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat over 5 rounds. What do you think? What do you think are the key factors in this one?
I think the key factors in this one for Robert Whittaker first. I think it's a bit easier to say his what he should and shouldn't do. Obviously, when he is facing in, I would say Khamzat is both the immovable force and the. Why can't I think of the other half?
Unstoppable force and immovable object.
That's what I meant. See, I just combined the two like an idiot. I'm tired. I've been yawning forever. I don't know why I'm so tired. But, yeah, pretty much Khamzat is both those combined into one. Whittaker needs to weather the early storm because, let's be realistic, if you watch any Khamzat fight, within the first 10 seconds of the fight, he's probably going to be diving at your legs at full speed with full intention to smash your face in. Or grab your neck and choke you out. So yeah, I think Bobby Knuckles needs to weather the early storm. I'd say honestly, considering it's a 5-round fight, and I think Usman did this, and I think maybe Usman, if it was a 5-round fight, I think he might have won that fight, but we'll never know because it'd be a completely different fight if it was 5 rounds. But maybe even just afford losing the first round. Like maybe not let him take you down, but if you get taken down, maybe just be super defensive. Get taken down and survive and let Khamzat kind of tire himself out because as we've seen in the past, Khamzat definitely is one of the strongest, if not the strongest starter on the roster right now. But once the fight goes on, he gets lazy, he gets careless, and sometimes he's a crazy dude. Yeah. We know he gets a little bit off game plan, a little bit off script. There's always that clip I see of his coach in whatever language they're talking in, just screaming at him, do not slug with Gilbert Burns, take him down. And Khamzat went right back out there and started slugging with them again. So we'll see.
No, it is kind of a clear-cut path to victory, you'd think, for Whittaker. Survive the storm and do what you do to everybody else as the fight starts to go on. You would think Whittaker is probably the more technical striker.
Definitely.
I don't think I think they're about equal in the danger they present because Khamzat packs a punch.
Oh, yeah.
And
both are absurdly well-rounded.
Yes. Now, all that to say, I've seen, it's crazy because I'll see Khamzat and I'll see him, hitting the mitts or whatever, throwing the hands, and he looks absurd. He looks otherworldly fast.
He does.
And he'll throw in a high kick, he'll throw in a spinning back kick, whatever. and then he gets into the fight, and it's a right hand and a left hand.
Literally.
And that's really all it is. So, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, when you have the threat of a takedown and submission
Yes,
at
yes,
any
yes,
time,
yes.
that's really all you need.
Yes. I do think Khamzat seems, from what we've seen from Fight Week and what I've kind of been hearing, it seems his mentality's kind of switched on how he approaches these fights. When he was in the UFC, he was coming at you full tilt, thought he could pretty much kill anybody, literally. And, really was fighting with no concern that anyone could present a threat. Fast forward to Gilbert Burns, as PJ was saying, and he realizes that these guys are serious, Same thing when he fights Usman. He gives Usman respect after the fight, saying it was, a lot harder than he thought it was going to be. Robert Whittaker, I would think he's going to approach with as seriously as he's approached any other fight, or 10 times more than he's approached any other fight. He should, because, Whittaker's been around the block. And what concerns me is that Whittaker's takedown defense is great.
He's got a very, very wide stance. Yeah. He's very hard to take down.
As we've seen from, he's fought Olympic medalist Yoel Romero, and Yoel had a tough time keeping him down.
Yeah.
But Khamzat's not Yoel. And for some reason, somehow, he was the one who took down Usman first. And he took him down not only once, but 5 times. Yeah,
seeing Kamaru Usman get out wrestled, out grappled was it was amazing to watch, to be honest with you, because even though obviously I like Usman, I was rooting for Usman, but you gotta love when a guy is just this good. Khamzat is that good.
Seeing Usman flat on his stomach was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It felt wrong. Yeah, it really did. It felt wrong. I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah. No, it was craziness. And also, don't fact check me, because I just remembered Leon took Usman down a couple times. All right, whatever. Anyways, all I can do is kind of compare Usman's wrestling to Robert Whittaker's at this point. And, they're of a comparable size. I know Usman came into that fight short notice, but he's known for his takedown defense. What is this?
Topuria saying he won't go to Sydney to rematch Volk.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
We can do all the talking we want. I could say all the things I want about...
What are you thinking here?
We all know what I'm thinking, PJ. We all know who I'm going to go with in this one. Now, am I going... Yes, I'm going with Khamzat. I'm going to go with Khamzat, and I don't know, dude. I think he might squeeze his fucking neck off in the first round. I think that's a very real possibility.
100%.
Because I thought there was no way this guy shoots on Usman and takes him down within the first 10 seconds. And look what happened. So, and I don't think Whittaker is going to be able to defend his neck as well as Kamaru Usman did.
No, I would probably agree.
But as every second ticks on, the odds of Khamzat winning gets lower and lower and lower.
I agree.
But do you agree with my prediction?
So you had first round sub?
Yes, as brave as I am.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
I see this fight going one of 2 ways. I see this fight going 2 possible ways. One way, the early storm, Khamzat, just way too much, way too overwhelming. I'm gonna give my prediction right away before I say the other part. I think I'm going to go with Chimaev, second round. I'm probably going to go second round sub. I think he might knock him down and then just kind of, figure out a way to get his neck or something like that. So I'm going to go second round Chimaev sub, but I will say if Bobby Knuckles can survive halfway to the third round, I would say, if it gets to the championship rounds, it's not a championship fight, but if it gets to the championship rounds, I'm really favoring a Whittaker, I don't know why I can't speak right now. Whittaker decision.
Not a late TKO, not a late stoppage.
No, he could. He 100% could. I'm not saying he can't. Khamzat is, we haven't seen it yet. He's finishable. It's possible, but we haven't seen it yet. I'm going to go with Chimaev second round sub, but Bobby, if you can just survive the first 12 and a half, 15 minutes, I like your odds. I'm not going to lie, but I just think Khamzat, in my opinion, I think Usman is a bigger guy than Whittaker. I don't know if you agree. I think...
Yeah, I think they're a very comparable size. Yeah.
Despite the fact that Whittaker, I don't think he has better technique, but he might be a little bit quicker, and he's in a weight class higher. I I think Khamzat might be a bit too strong for him and just too overwhelming.
I hope so.
I'm gonna go Khamzat second round sub. This fight, I don't know. I mean, this one has fight of the night written all over it, but then we have to cover the main event as well. So
as soon as I said first round sub, I thought to myself, Khamzat might pace himself slightly better here.
I think he should.
Yes.
Will he? I think he will a bit.
I don't think he'll shoot like a madman right away. I could see him being on the feet for a while and just waiting for his opportunity to shoot a takedown.
If he fight, I cannot speak. I apologize. I'm so tired for some reason. If he fights a smart fight, he's almost unbeatable in my opinion. Like if he actually fights with IQ.
And
he has a game plan coming into this. There's no way he loses. However, it's Khamzat. I could easily see him. 2-3 minutes into the fight, he gets hit by something big. The crowd's like, ooh, and then Khamzat's ego takes over, and the game plan goes down the shitter.
But the thing is, I would fucking love it.
And then next thing you know, we're in a freaking Bobby Knuckles versus Khamzat slug fight.
The thing is, I would love it.
But
I'm gonna love this fight, PJ. I'm gonna fucking love it.
I don't see how we're not gonna love it unless unless a doctor stoppage happens or some bullshit like that. Impossible.
Why would you even say that?
Because I'm jinxing it.
Why would you even say that?
I'm jinxing it now.
I'm
jinxing it right now.
You know some bullshit's going to happen now. You know some bullshit's going to happen.
I'm jinxing it now. So that way we can't be like, oh, we didn't see this coming.
It's going to be a fucking eye poke in the first
We didn't see
2
Moicano.
minutes.
You don't ever see the doctor stoppage coming. So I'm saying it now so it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Regardless, we've kind of just yapped about this. It's worth yapping about, but yeah. First round sub, second round sub here. Khamzat. I can't say I'm rooting for Khamzat. I know you are. I can't say I'm rooting for Khamzat super hard. I like Khamzat. I want to see him fight for a world title, so I'm not hardly rooting against him, but it would be cool.
You're gonna smash your boy.
It would be cool to see Bobby Knuckles win, but it would also just be cool to see Khamzat finally get a shot at gold. So, regardless, potential fight of the night, we'll see. But now, finally, it's time. The main event prediction. I think we're going to be going in a similar way here, but I guess we'll find out. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Topuria, whatever you want to call him. I call him whatever. The reigning defending champ, Max Holloway.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, dude. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
I love the sport. I love it a lot. That walkout gets me so calm.
Yeah.
And then once the instruments start going, I feel like it just hypes me ready to run through a wall.
And then the camera goes to Topuria, who looks like he's about to go have dinner with his wife or something. Dude, he's the calmest man in the arena.
He really, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and glaze super hard, but Topuria might be one of the sickest athletes I've ever seen in my life. Like you want to, if they actually said okay, this is gonna. I'm actually me writing so hard. If they said define aura in sports, I think Topuria Topuria is just sick.
Dude, he does if it was a Sims character of just a star athlete.
They said make the sickest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even a word, is it? The coolest, most badass, but also the most calm and just aura fighter.
We are glazing.
Yeah, I gotta stop.
We are glazing.
You might have to cut this out. Dude.
Max Holloway is a cool guy too.
He really is.
He has tattoos, just like Topuria.
He's got cool shorts. He's gonna be wearing cool shorts. Topuria. I'm back to glazing him. He's got sick shorts too. Oh, God damn it.
And they actually match with the gloves. Dude,
we have got This might go viral on TikTok, and if Topuria loses, we're gonna be the world's biggest losers.
And he got a sick haircut too. All right, dude, and did I copy it? Maybe I did.
we have got to stop.
Okay, if it's not obvious at this point, we see I wouldn't say no path to victory for Max, but I see a very difficult path to victory for Max. I mean, Topuria, he is just on top of the pedigree, the championship pedigree. He is just as much a hell of a fighter. Great boxing. Throws in the leg kicks just enough to keep you honest. And on top of that, has a Greco-Roman wrestling background and some pretty damn good jiu-jitsu too. Actually has more finishes by sub than he does by knockout.
I was going to say, many people just want to say he's the best boxer in the UFC, but he is an elite grappler as well. He submitted Bryce Mitchell.
And the thing is, when he knocks people out, it's not like, oh, he stuns them and then he finishes on the ground. Brutal. He fucking floors them.
I think, but I will say in this fight, he might have to stun Max first before. I don't know if he's shutting Max's lights out with one punch.
No,
to be honest with you.
But so I feel confident in saying this. I feel he does get a knockdown in this fight.
I do too.
100%. I think he gets a knockdown.
I think he might. He's either getting a knockdown or he's going to. In my opinion, and I might look stupid. I think Max Holloway's face is going to be beat up very badly in this fight, to say the least.
I mean, Ilia and Volk are of a similar height, and I won't say they fight similar, but they do. They rely a lot on the punches. And the punches were giving Max plenty of problems when he was fighting Volk, especially that last time out.
Jab, especially.
Once Volk found his timing, that fight was over.
That fight, the third, I forgot what UFC event it was, but that was probably one of the best fight versions of a fighter I've ever seen in my life. Yes. Volk was untouchable. The jab was working. Halfway through the third round, that fight was over.
Yes, absolutely. And Topuria is the guy who beat the fuck out of Max 3 times. Or 2.5, the way I see it. But anyways, I think Topuria has a very tough style for Max, especially considering he's gonna look to get on the inside a lot with his boxing. And when the short guy gets on the inside against the long guy, it usually
bad things happen for the long guy.
Especially if they pack the punch that Topuria does. That being said, as much as I think Topuria can score a knockdown on Max can score a knockdown on Topuria. He's been dropped before, and specifically he's been dropped by high kicks. I've seen like a right high kick. I don't know.
Jai Herbert.
Yes, he's been dropped a couple times. As tight as his boxing is, maybe the defense isn't as great as the offense, and Max's offense is obviously great. So all that's to say is I don't feel confident in. I feel confident in saying Topuria is going to win. I couldn't tell you if it's like a.
I know. I don't know either. I'm like contemplating right now how I like see how the fight goes in my head. Like I'm seeing certain scenarios, but at the same time, I'm like, how is he actually going to get his hand raised? Like what's the method to getting his hand raised? But I will say before that, real quick, I think for Max Holloway, considering he is the longer guy, he's the taller guy by quite a bit. I think he's like 4 inches taller than Topuria. Leg kicks being able to mix in leg kicks in this fight are like literally so essential. Like this could win him the fight. We saw him throwing that the little spin kick against Justin Gaethje, and it hurt him badly every time. It landed literally every time. He didn't miss. No. I'm not saying that's gonna hurt. That exact kick's gonna hurt Topuria, but mixing in the high kicks, body kicks, low kicks.
Max is gonna come with the good strike patterns. He always does. He knows his opponent. 100%. He knows where his opponent can and can't be hit.
There's enough film on Topuria now to be like you can kind of figure out what he struggles with and why he's so good.
And it does concern me for sure because
100%.
But I don't want to say Max doesn't have the one punch power necessarily to knock him out. I mean, you saw his last fight. Everyone has seen, even if you don't watch UFC, you saw the last 10 seconds of Max's last fight. So I'd be remiss to say he can't knock him out. I could see a situation much like the Jai Herbert fight where Max hurts him, but then Topuria just kind of goes instantly into wrestle mode and catches a hip or something. And
that's why I feel like Topuria, once again, has a big advantage because if Max hurts him, he might not necessarily want to go to the ground with Topuria.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we've said it already. We're going to go with Topuria.
Call me nuts right here, and it could be. I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. 4th round knockout, TKO. No, not knockout. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a doctor stoppage because he butchers his face so badly. I want to say the way he knocks out Max is not with one punch and he floors him. It's gonna be an overwhelmingly amount of strikes that the doctor or the ref has to blow it off. I'm going during the 4th round or right after the 4th round ends. The fight is called. Yeah. But I'm gonna go 4th round knockout. I'm just saying I won't be surprised if they end up calling it because of the damage he puts on Max Holloway.
I can see a situation in which Yes, he's putting a beating on him, and then yes, in the later rounds, he stuns him hard enough where he's smart enough to take it to the ground, possibly earn a submission.
That would be crazy.
Possibly earn a submission.
I can see it for sure.
Either way, we're rolling the dice on all these because and at the same time, we could be sitting here next week talking to you about how Max Holloway is the featherweight champion of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to count out Max Holloway. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. By no means am I sitting here confidently in this chair in the studio saying that I think this is an easy fight for Topuria, because it's not. Max Holloway is, he said it in his last fight, he's him. He's a dog.
In the dorkiest way possible.
Yeah, I'm him.
I'm him.
That was goofy. But, no. Max is a dog. He could very well be the champion Saturday afternoon in the United States.
Maybe the fight's over in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, apparently there's a shot that they go out and they throw down, point down to the ground in the first 10 seconds. That'd be nuts. I think I favor Topuria in that. I'm not going to lie. As goated as Holloway is in those exchanges. Wait, so what was the final prediction? I'm not sure we ever got them.
I'm going to go 4th round sub.
Wow, 4th round TKO, 4th round sub. Top Toronto.
We'll see, guys.
I'm gonna be honest. I think if Topuria gets through this, I think he might be champion for a long time.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to count out Volk, but at the same time, I don't think Volk has it anymore to beat Topuria. I don't know if Diego Lopez has it in him yet. We'll see. Diego and I'd say Movzar are the biggest threats to him, and maybe. I hate to say it, you're going to hate it, but I think maybe if Aljo gets his way up there, he has somewhat of a shot. I'm just being realistic. I'm not saying he can. I'm just throwing it out there. Whatever. I'm saying out of anybody in the top 10, pick 3 guys to beat Topuria.
3 guys who have the best chance?
Yes. Diego, Movzar, Aljo. Arnold Allen, no. Josh Emmett, no. Cater, okay. Yair, no. Volk, I'm just gonna count him out. I'm sorry, Volk. You're not beating Topuria.
Yeah, no, Volk's
I'm
not
saying.
beating.
That's a stupid scenario. But I'm saying like 3 guys that I think maybe have a chance.
I'd throw Yair in there. Anyways, dude, we're in for a big weekend.
Yeah, we're glazing this. I really hope this card lives up to what it should be.
I hope you can watch as much of this card as you can.
Oh, I will. I have an amazing girlfriend. She already said we might have to leave the tailgate early to go watch it. She gets it.
No.
We're going to be there. We're going to watch it. I'm not missing Khamzat or Topuria. No shot. I don't want to miss Magomed or Lerone or Shara Bullet. Maybe missing Shara Bullet. Maybe missing my upset pick here, but it's okay. I will be in attendance for Borz, Topuria, Blessed, the Reaper. It will happen.
You have to be.
I'm freaking hyped.
And you guys have to be. It'll be a hell of a fight, mate. A hell of a fight.
I'm excited, man.
But yeah, guys, make sure you guys tune in this weekend. Make sure you guys tune in to this episode that came out a day before this, that we took a week to post.
We're busy guys. We want to do this and we love this, but at the same time, we have other stuff that we have business to attend to. It happens.
I'm tired. But yeah. Oh my God! Check out the Split Decision podcast.
Jacked over there, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm flattered, dude. Stop glazing. We've done too much glazing today.
Right, so we gotta go. All right. See you at the top. UFC 308 starting at 2 p.m.